The concepts covered are soil teeming with life, soil profile, soil types, properties of soil, moisture and soil absorption of water by soil, soil and crops. Soil is one of the most important natural resources. It is the uppermost layer of Earth's crust, which is blackish-brown in color. Importance of soil. Soil allows the growth of plants. It supplies water and nutrients that are required in the growth of plants. The soil is the main part of agriculture. Different types of soils support different kinds of crops. Without agriculture, food, shelter and clothing are not possible. Many microorganisms live in the soil. Importance of soil. What pollutes the soil? Soil pollution is the presence of unwanted substances in the soil that can be harmful for all living beings. Following are the causes of soil pollution. Solid waste like human excreta, fruits and vegetable peels, plastics, metal objects, etc., excess use of chemicals such as fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides, acid rain are the main contributors to soil pollution. Untreated sewage sludge, human excreta, livestock, etc., used as manure also contributors to soil pollution. Prevention of soil pollution. Decreasing the generation of waste. Compost improves the quality of soil, loosens the soil and helps air and water to move more freely. Farmers should be encouraged to use biofertilizers, biopesticides and fungicides. Preventing the use of harmful chemicals. Recycling and reusing waste not only helps in reducing the felling of trees but also helps in decreasing soil pollution. Afforestation, planting of trees. Measures also need to be taken to prevent overgrazing and overcropping as they lead to soil erosion. Soil profile. The soil consists of distinct layers which are also called horizons of the soil. Soil profile. It is a vertical section of the soil which depicts all the layers of the soil. The layers of the soil can be seen if we dig deep through it, like while creating a well or while laying the foundation of a building. 1. Humus. The decaying matter in the soil is called humus. 2. Weathering. Soil is formed when rocks break down. This process is also called weathering. The weathering of rocks takes place because of rains, flowing water, winds, temperature and climatic conditions of a place. 3. Parent rock. The nature of the soil, that is its texture and availability of minerals, depends upon the rock from which it is formed. This rock is often called as the parent rock. Layers of the soil. Horizon A. This layer is also called the topsoil. It is visible to us. It contains large amounts of humus and minerals which makes it dark in color. This soil is rich in nutrients because of the presence of humus. The topsoil has a soft texture and can retain water easily. That is why plants' roots grow in the topsoil region. The topsoil is a home to many living organisms as well, like insects, worms, beetles, rodents and moles. Horizon B, or the middle layer. It is the next layer of the soil which does not contain much humus. In this layer the minerals are found in large quantities in this layer. This layer has a hard texture, light color and is more compact than the topsoil. Horizon C, or third layer. The third layer of the soil consists of small rocks with cracks in them. These rocks are partly weathered. Bedrock. It is the last layer of the soil, is called the bedrock. It contains large pieces of rocks that are not weathered or exposed to any winds or water. Bedrock cannot be dug with the help of a spade. It is very hard in texture. How is soil formed? Soil is formed from weathering of the parent rock, and the texture of the soil depends upon the parent rocks only. This process takes time, maybe 100 years, and then the fine soil is formed. In the first stage of soil formation, the soil is generally non-porous in nature. Then it slowly turns into soil having air and water in the pores. We can define soil as a mixture of rock particles and humus. Based on the size of the particles and the textures of the soil, it can be divided into various types. Types of soil. Based on the amount of various sized particles, soil can be divided into following types. types of soil. Sandy soil. Sandy soil has big particles that have large spaces between them. The spaces between these particles are filled with air. Hence, sandy soils are called well-aerated soils. Because of large spaces, water can easily penetrate through the particles of sand. Sandy soils, however, cannot hold water. Hence, sandy soils are light aerated and dry in nature. Sandy soils lack much nutrients, hence do not support the diverse growth of plants. Clayey soil. It contains fine particles made of clay. The soil particles have little air spaces between them. Clayey soil is rich in minerals, many of which are used by the plants. The soil is very dense and less porous. As a result, clayey soil gets easily waterlogged during the raining season, reducing the availability of air between the soil particles, making the soil infertile. Paddy and cotton grow well in this type of soil. Loamy soils. It contains an equal amount of sand and silt and lesser amount of clay. The soil is well aerated and also contain a lot of organic matter or humus, that support a rich variety of soil organisms which keep the soil fertile. Loamy soil is used to grow vegetables, onion, garlic, pulses, wheat and maize. Silt soil. Silt particles are smaller than sand but much larger than the clay particle. It remains moist for a longer time. Silty soil does not get waterlogged easily. Silty soil also has a good amount of mineral nutrients and some amount of humus. It is used to grow vegetables, fruit-bearing trees and pulses. Properties of soils. Percolation of water through the soil. Percolation is the property of absorption of water by soil. The rate at which water percolates or moves through soils may vary in different kinds of soils. Some soils absorb water while others allow it to flow through them. The rate of percolation can be calculated by percolation of water. Moisture. Moisture is the amount of water that is present in the soil. Even a dry soil has some amount of moisture in the air. However, the clayey soil has the highest content of moisture. Why air above farmland appears shimmering during the daytime? Due to sunlight, the water from the soil begins to evaporate and turns into water vapor. This water vapor, when reflects the sunlight, appears as if it is shining, and hence the air above the soil makes the land look shimmery. Absorption. Every soil has a water absorption capacity which depends upon how porous the soil is. Clayey and loamy soils are most porous, hence can retain water in large quantities. That is why crops can grow over these soils. Sandy soils, on the other hand, do not absorb water and hence do not support much vegetation. Texture. The texture is the size of particles of the soil. Different kinds of soils have a different texture. Color. Different soils have different colors as well. This is because of the minerals and nutrients present in the soil. For instance, some soils are black in color because of the presence of humus and minerals, while some soils are red in color because they have iron in large quantities in them. pH of soil. Soils can have different pH depending upon their acidic, basic or neutral nature. Based upon the pH, different types of crops grow in the soil. Air content. We know that the soil is made up of particles of different sizes. These particles can be loosely bound or tightly bound. The air often occupies the space in between these particles. This allows life to sustain in the soil, such as microorganisms. Soil and crops. Crops grown in the soil are affected by the type of soil and also the climatic factors. Climatic factors such as rain, humidity, temperature, wind brings some changes in the structure of soil and hence affect the vegetation. The type of crops that will grow in the soil depends upon these factors as well as the properties of a soil. What is soil erosion? Soil erosion is the gradual removal or wearing away of the Earth's soil surface by natural agents such as running water, wind, waves and snow. It takes away the fertile topsoil, making the soil infertile and unsuitable for plant growth. Causes of soil erosion. 1. The loss of protective vegetation through deforestation, overgrazing, plowing, overcultivation and forest fire makes the soil susceptible to being swept away by strong wind and running water. 2. Inappropriate farming techniques such as deep plowing the land 2 or 3 times a year to produce annual crops can lead to soil erosion. Prevention of soil erosion. 1. The force of wind and flowing water can be reduced by growing cover crops. A cover crop is grown to cover the land after harvesting the main crop. Cover crops prevent soil from being exposed to wind and flowing water. 2. The force of wind and water can also be reduced by growing trees and shrubs on the boundaries of fields. Rows of plants on the boundaries of field are known as shelter belts. 3. Preventing overgrazing, afforestation, step farming and constructing river embankment.